Your host is here for the show tonight to interview our special guest. Show highlight the Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alford Sports Talk Show. 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 Your host is here for the show tonight to interview our special guest. Show highlight the Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of the Alford Sports Talk Show. I'm Alan, and we are going to have a wonderful Friday night show for you. Definitely appreciate you joining us here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. A lot of things going on, but we're going to get it all sorted out, and we're going to bring it on home here on the Friday night show. Definitely appreciate you joining us here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. Guess what? The live show is in effect. The live chat is available, and we are up and running here. Definitely appreciate you tremendously. So a lot to discuss. First and foremost, let me talk about, the big UFL news. And if you haven't heard already, Tuesday it was announced that a lot of things happened. A storm is brewing. That's right. The Orlando Storm is going to be here in 2026, right here at Inter & Co Stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. It's magnificent. And in addition to that, there's more teams coming. There's some new teams for the UFL. There we go. 8 teams, 1 league. We have the Birmingham Stallions. They are staying. We have the Columbus Aviators. That's a new team. The Arlington Renegades, a team that I covered, is no longer going to be in Arlington. It's going to be in Dallas. Really appreciate you, Quasar Reza. Really appreciate you. Thank you. So the Arlington Renegades are moving to Dallas now. It's a significant move now. No longer in Arlington. I know they're not far apart, but it's not going to be in Choctaw Stadium. DC Defenders, they're safe. They're staying where they are. And then we have the Houston Gamblers. That's another move. So it's not going to be the Houston Roughnecks anymore. It's the Houston Gamblers. And then we have, more changes. We have the Louisville Kings. So that's another change. Louisville. I got to make sure I say it right. And Kentucky. So that is a really nice area. I've been to, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, and it's beautiful. It's a place that I actually could have seen myself actually living at one point. I visited 8 teams. That's right, 8 teams. The new team that's coming in that I was able to go ahead and be at the kickoff event was the Orlando Storm. And that right there was a shock. It was a shock to me because at no way, shape, or form did I think they were going to get away with the San Antonio Brahmas just because they had diehard fans. And it seemed like they were doing really good. So you also play football, believe it or not. I've covered football and I've watched football my entire life. I've never played football. Football is not a sport that I've actually played. I don't claim to be. Baseball was my sport growing up. I grew up hoping and wishing I was going to be a Major League Baseball player. Closest I got, a scout said he wanted to take a second look at me. They did, and that was basically it. In a way, it's kind of good because I can understand where some of these players feel. I've been on the other side of the fence, hustling, trying to get an opportunity, trying to make it. You know, you just want somebody to give you that look. And I knew playing baseball that I was much better than some of the guys that was in the major leagues. I just needed that opportunity, and I never did get that opportunity there. So I feel how a lot of these players feel, how they go through the process and that maturation. So that I definitely can understand where they're coming from. And on top of it, you know, when I was playing baseball, I was growing up in the 90s. Wasn't the best time for a guy of my size and stature. The reason being because that was a time, as we all know, history has shown, that was a time that Major League Baseball was on the rise with performance-enhancing drugs. So if you weren't a big minimum 6'2", 6'3" guy that was really hitting the balls out of the ballpark, you were going to get overlooked. They were not really in the market at that time for a guy like, let's just use an example, someone in the market like an Ichiro, somebody who can hit balls consistently but not hit them out of the ballpark. And Ichiro can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but I think if you made that his game, I don't know if that would be what he would like to do. You know, I'm the type of guy who likes to get hits, bunt, get on base, you know, more of an average type of guy, like a Tony Gwynn type of guy versus a guy who's just looking to hit, swing for the fences. It wasn't meant to be. So I knew when that time came that it was time to move on. That's another reason why. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Same here. And that's another reason why I really felt as if I knew when the time was there. I think a lot of people that I meet who play sports, unfortunately, when they go after their dream, I think they spend too much time going after it and they kind of let other life opportunities go to wayside. Like, I'm not singling anybody out, but if you are, let's say in your 30s, let's say so much, and the NFL hasn't called you, it's going to be tough. I'm just going to leave it as that. Like, it's going to be tough. That's just the reality of it. Not to say you can't make it, but the odds and numbers, statistics are heavily against you. But it's not for me to say when you should hang up the cleats. It's neither here nor there. But I feel as if you have to keep your options open when you know it's time to move on. Be mindful of that too, because the reason why I say that is because I see the NFL and other sports, they suck some of these guys into that dream and they continue down that path way too long, and they're missing opportunities to kind of move forward. Hey, at some point you're going to have expenses and bills. You have to take care of those, meet those ends. And that's just the way it is. Life doesn't wait for anybody. So the question is, which team is your favorite? That is a great question. It's a dilemma right now as far as football with the UFL. Which one is my favorite? Meaning, I'm definitely going to cover the Orlando Storm. I did cover the Arlington Renegades. Now they're in Dallas. I'm still kind of debating what should I do as far as cover both, cover one. And more than likely, I think it's going to be the Orlando Storm. But I still would like to at least do the Zooms for the Dallas Renegades. My favorite baseball team is the Yankees, and my second favorite is the Rays. That's how it is. I've kind of fell in love with the Rays being here in Florida. But yes, it's been an awesome ride. And the last team that is staying is the St. Louis Battlehawks. So we have the Battlehawks staying the same, the DC Defenders, and the Stallions. 3 teams out of 8 are staying. The other teams are either new or they moved. New name to say. So Houston Gamblers. So yes, it is going to look different. It is going to look different in the league. It's going to be awesome. And what I'm thinking, it's going to be really, really cool. The fan experience is going to be a lot better because I love the new vision of having a smaller venue. I think that's genius. I said that a lot of people on Twitter was chiming in. Having a smaller venue makes a difference because let's look at the Rays example. The Rays had a stadium of 36,000 people, and they would have an average of, like a normal weekday game, I would say 6, 7,000, maybe 8. And it looked really bare because you have all these seats that are available. And yes, you have, anywhere between 6 to, let's say, 8,000, but there's so many empty seats that it makes you feel as if it's dead, nobody's coming. And you're always thinking that. No matter how much you try to ignore it, it's so obvious. And the cameraman can hide it to a certain degree. I work in media. I try to do it myself. But at certain points there, if it's a venue that's pretty bare, it's hard for you to kind of cover that up game after game. So the Rays, they went and played because of the damage to the roof of the Trop. They played in a stadium, George Steinbrenner Field, that only seats a little over 11,000. I went to several games this year, and I could tell you the vibe was totally different. Number one, the games are either sold out or at least 80 to 85% to capacity every game. So when you looked at it, there wasn't too many empty seats. A lot of people close together, more intimate, more private, more fun, I believe, because everybody's together. Everybody's kind of having a good time. It's like a smaller group, a smaller venue, but less seats that are available. It made a huge difference on everything, how it looked on TV. The games that I didn't go to, I watched them on TV. It makes a huge difference on how it looks aesthetically. So that smaller venue, usually people want to go bigger and better. Actually, that vision of going smaller, to me, is genius. I just think that that's smart because now you're going to watch a game. It'll be a smaller stadium. The players will be closer together. The fans will be closer together. It'll almost have a feel like an arena football, but you're going to be outdoors and you're going to be seeing it on TV. I can tell you this stadium here. Hey, that's right. Hey, Alan, go Storm. That's right. A storm is brewing. And that's right. It's a storm is brewing. Go Storm. So yes, that stadium too, Inter and Coast Stadium, is a beautiful, beautiful stadium. And some of the stadiums that they've shown, they are in the same ballpark as Intercoast Stadium, meaning they're smaller, nice, beautiful soccer stadiums. So I think the players are going to really like it too. I think the fans are going to love it. Another thing about Intercoast Stadium is that you can walk outside and watch, and there's no bad seat in there. But then if you want to get some shade, it's right behind you. It's not far from you. You can get something to drink, go right behind you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yes, I'm glad I'm covering the team too. And it's gonna be awesome. And it was unexpected. It was really unexpected for me to have a team in Orlando. I was not until I saw the post from the UFL that they sent to everyone that the Brahmas were out, and then like later that day, or they said that we're going to have a team in Orlando. I really didn't think we were going to have a team at all. So I do have some survivor's guilt because, Brahma Babe, Viva Mexico, a lot of, Savion Patton, a lot of the players from the San Antonio Brahmas are friends of mine. So it was like, I was excited. First I was shocked, and then I was shocked to excitement because I didn't think we were in the running at all, Orlando. And that was one thing that I was glad I really went to the welcome reception and the introduction of the Storm, the Orlando Storm. I was very, very happy. And we've been waiting for this day for 2 years. I'm so happy. I am too. And it was unexpected. It's like having one of your favorite toys, you misplace it, you lose it, someone finds it and returns it, and there was a couple little tweaks on it, and they returned it to you actually even better than what you expected by surprise. They ring the doorbell and they showed up. That's how I felt. Like, wow, like this was unexpected and a surprise showed up. And people did ask, why Orlando? Well, I'm glad I went to that venue because it answered everything. Mike Repole does live in Orlando. He's a new big man in charge now. You know, it still have Danny Garcia. You still have Redbird Capital, The Rock, but they're giving Mike Repole pretty much the reins and the keys to the Bentley. And the other people are still going to be involved, but he's pretty much running the show. And he lives in Orlando. His wife lives in Orlando. So he wanted a team here. Another thing he said, you know, Danny still has her home in Orlando. He did say that too. He also did mention that they're going to do things different. It's not coming back to Camping World. Orlando fit because of the fact they had that nice Inter and Co soccer stadium. They were game because they now that seats 15,000. It fit perfectly to his new vision. They had a new name. He said he came up with the name Orlando Storm. Well, he credited himself. Mike Repole can't credit himself with the Orlando Storm name. He said it in the speech. I am going to put up the full video. I got it from beginning to the end, but he said it there too. And those are the reasons why he felt he wanted to come back to Orlando. New venue, living in the community. I can understand that. You know, he lives in a community. He wants a team in his community. If you have those type of resources where you could join a team, you would want a team in your area too. That's just the nature of how it works. But on top of that, he has a great venue that fit too. You know, the Inter and Co Stadium, which is a beautiful stadium. And when he explained it, it made a lot of sense why he would want a team in Orlando. A lot of times people jump on the why, but they don't actually listen to the person and hear what they're saying. They get emotionally wrapped into it. I try to detach the emotion and just listen to their facts and what they're saying and why they're saying it. And that led into why he had to let some of those other places go. With San Antonio, he said seat 70,000. He wanted a venue around 15,000. They didn't have a soccer stadium that fit that. And he loves San Antonio. He thinks it's a real great city, but they may have had the market, but they didn't have the venue. Michigan, he said the same thing. It was Ford Field. They didn't really have the venue. Now, someone did say to me on Twitter, they have another field. That field seats 30,000, and it's not the vision of what he said he was looking for. He wanted something. There's another soccer stadium that's at 7,000. He wanted something around 15,000, similar to Inter and Co Stadium. Another example of that is Dallas, where they moved to Dallas because of that soccer stadium. So he wanted a smaller venue. He wanted something that was more private, more intimate, more fan-friendly is what he stated. And when you hear it, it makes sense because I think just if it works as well as it did with the Rays, I think it's genius. And those other teams that did lose out, I definitely feel as if you have a shot to come back because the goal is not to just have 8 teams. He wants to expand the league. And sometimes in life and in business and in life, you have to be open-minded. I've been in corporate America for over 30 plus years. I could tell you these things unfortunately do happen. But I will tell you this much too. In business and in life, sometimes you have to take a step back. It's a tough time to do that, to take 3 or 4 steps forward. Sometimes you have to do that. That's just how it goes. Sometimes challenges help you out. I'll just give you a real quick life story. I asked a gentleman to help me put on a belt on the car, and they had some personal things they had to take care of. To make a long story short, my other car wasn't working, so I really kind of needed this belt to be put on so I can at least use one car. They were having some family crisis. Make a long story short, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to try to learn and do this myself so I could be self-reliant. And this way I would learn how to put on a belt, an automotive belt myself. I did it. I went ahead and went through the process, learned it. Now I know how to do it. So I took a step backwards, but I took 3 or 4 steps forward. If you needed help with an automotive belt on a car, I can help you. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes in life, that's how it goes. You don't like it that way, but sometimes challenges create opportunities. And I feel like this is what happened here. I guess I need to, yes, you need to retire the gear or, you know, get Danny to sign it or something and collect it as a souvenir. But you can still retire it. You can sell it on eBay. There is still a market. And, you know, I also, that's another thing. I'm glad Yusuf brought that up. I love the new colors. Even though I'm a USF grad, you can see my diploma back there, and which is green. I love the fact of the new colors. I do. I mean, I love they put the blue in there because of the fact that the stadium is blue. It says Orlando. That stadium is beautiful. Entering Coast Stadium is extremely nice. No, I don't see anybody complaining about the venue. I think the venue is nice. It's smaller, nice. You can get some shade if you want to. There it does. And another thing is this: since it's not as open and wide as Camping World, you're not going to be as hot. Even though the sun sometimes will get you, you're not going to be as hot. And then you could also just get up, go to the you know, get some shade really easy. It's right behind you, you know, 10, 15 feet behind you. A lot easier, you know, and then you can watch the game underneath the shade too. You don't have to necessarily sit in your chair if you don't want to. Yeah. I can wear my Apollo's gear instead. Yeah, there you go. And props to the Orlando Storm in that event. I got 2 Orlando Storm t-shirts already. And the reason why I got it because they put one on each chair. I was able to get 2 because I actually used one chair to sit in. I had my other chair with a lot of my equipment. And I got 2 Orlando Storm shirts. So, you know, I love the colors. The orange and that blue just really pop. And the white trim. I like the colors better than I did the Orlando Guardians. I like green. Again, a USF, go Bulls. But there was something that somebody told me that made sense, that a lot of UCF fans, where the stadium is in Orlando, would never buy a Guardians jersey because it's predominantly green. And I said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense why you would be reluctant to buy a jersey from Orlando Guardians that's green. And if you were a UCF fan, I think they did listen to not everything the fans said, but they did put into account a lot of the complaints and what fans have said. To me, they did address that in these moves. The colors are different. The name is different. Now you're not going to be as hot. You're just not going to be as hot out there. You know, it is an outdoor stadium, but I just don't feel like you're going to be sweltering like Orlando. Before, when they started, they had all the fans in the sunny side of the field. They weren't allowed to use a shaded side. So that was brutal. You're looking at the shady side, and some shade helps, and you're out there in the middle of the sun. It's going to be a much better experience after hearing what they had to say. Plus, the stadium is closer to downtown. That makes a difference too, even though it's not worlds different, but just a location. Being a little different in that area, I believe the people in that area have a little bit more green, more pocket, more money. So that will help too. I could see them filling the stadium. I could see things going positive, not just in Orlando, but the other venues. I see the vision. When they explained it to me, I see it. A storm is brewing. I got to get used to the new names because there's a lot. It's only 3 of them stay the same. So let me just go ahead and show you these quick little videos just in case you missed them.
One, they played at Camping World, which was way different. I don't think the league was as funded as it is now. And I also...
Congratulations on the new team here in Orlando. My name is Alan from the Alford Sports Talk Show. I actually had the honor of covering the Orlando Guardians. For people who were a little skeptical about coming back to Orlando, what could you say to those people?
I followed it a little bit where, one, they played at Camping World, which was way different. I don't think the league was as funded as it is now. And I thought the venue was an issue. And from what I remember, the team, I don't know if they won 1 or 2 games. I mean, they lost immediately. Now that I've guaranteed a few championships, I'm not really concerned about that. So we should be okay. I think Orlando's changing. It's the biggest thing we're going to do when I take over the league is obviously with this national league, but the 8 local markets are more important than national. So being inside the market is going to be very important. Working with the incredible sponsors and people that have helped, from Interco to the many sponsors you guys have here. We have to be in the community. That I actually live in the community, and it's pretty special. Danny Garcia lives in the community, but I've built brands my whole life. Nothing gets built overnight, and I think everybody wants that instant gratification, and there's no overnight success story, but we're going to do this right. We're going to build this league right, one fan at a time.
Yeah, I love what he said. I mean, he's right. He's proof of it. Vitamin water. The man is right. You can't knock his track history, his success history. And he knows what it takes to be successful. And I think the smaller venues is genius. I think that makes it's simple, but it's very, very smart and effective. And he said it perfectly right there. Then I was able to, there was a lot of media outlets there too. And I just want to reason why that's important, because I'm gonna show you the second video. People was asking, why don't you ask this question, that question? Hey, I was blessed that I was able to ask actually 2, one while he was on stage and one when he came off stage, which was not easy because there was a lot of media there. There really was. The mayor was there. VIPs were there. Anthony Beck was there. Props to him. He did an interview with me too, which I'll show you in a few moments. But yes, it wasn't that easy to get a lot of questions, and you don't want to try to be disruptive and just, keep raising your hand. I always feel you got to be respectful to your peers because you just never know. And yes, and thank you so much, Quasar. Thank you. And then let me show you this second video. I'm keeping my Vipers to always give props to Tampa. There you go. And you never know, they might come back to Tampa. And this was the second question I had to ask him when he came off stage.
Almost for the last year doing due diligence and trying to figure out how this works, to come in here within 90 days, Alan.
Okay, yes. So, Brahma Babe, Viva Miko, these are people from the San Antonio Brahmas. What do you say to people who have lost team, Brahmas, Michigan, and Memphis? What do you say to those fan base?
It was hard for me, even though I have been involved almost for the last year doing due diligence and trying to figure out how this works, to come in here within 90 days, it's exciting to put out Orlando, Louisville, and Columbus. But, Friday was a tough day for me. To tell a city like Michigan Panthers that have been around a long time, and San Antonio Brahmas, but, I made it very clear, and I've been very consistent, that it's market and arena and stadium. Michigan had the right market, and we couldn't play in Ford Field. That was the only option. They have a soccer stadium there that fits 7,000 people. There are rumors that in 2028, there's going to be this new stadium that will be 15,000 for soccer that we're having conversations with. I have no fear about going back. San Antonio was another one. The reason why we kept Houston was we got into Shell Energy. San Antonio was a great city, but the Alamo Dome fits 70,000, and we drew 11,000. It just didn't fit. It didn't look right. It didn't represent what I'm trying to do with this league, where it's family, it's friends, and it's fan friendly. So it just didn't work, and I was very apologetic. I mean, we have to. In order for us to be successful, we have to have a vision, and we have to have a plan, and we have to stick with it. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying the right things. Like, these decisions are tough. They're not easy decisions. And he basically is saying that, hey, if it didn't fit their vision and plan, they had to make moves. And someone did say, why don't you get a stadium, rent a stadium? And I was like, well, I don't see him doing that. It didn't seem like that was on his mind at all. And I can understand that because I don't think that's the vision that they had and the plan that they had. They had certain cities and venues they wanted to kind of put in place and go from there. I don't think he was looking at a stadium type situation for a couple years and kind of go from there. I didn't get that vibe at all. And if you didn't fit in that vision, they had to make these tough decisions. I don't feel as if he didn't care, because a lot of time when people don't care, it would come out and you would feel it and see it. I didn't get that feeling at all. He did say I was very apologetic, and you can tell he wasn't celebrating getting rid of the teams. I know some people in business that would be like, hey, sorry guys, but they say it like that, but we're moving on. I didn't get that impression at all. I didn't get that impression at all. And I was standing right there. And it's different when you can put things up on social media, and that's fantastic, and video. But I could tell you first and forehand, it's very different when you're actually standing there and you're physically there. Yes, I could put great angles and give you great sound. And yes, you're going to get a good feel of what's going on, but it's different when you're actually in the arena, so to speak. And that's just how life is. When you're in the batter's box, it's different than standing on the first base side or having great seats. So Mike Repole is going to make it, man. He's from Queens, New York. His wife is from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So his wife is from my hometown, and Queens is the next city from Brooklyn. So I know how New Yorkers think. And New Yorkers, they're go-getters. They win. And you could see his track history. Vitamin Water. He builds markets. The guy's a proven winner. I think bringing on Mike Repole was genius too. And if the UFL, I'll say it right here on the Allen Alford Sports Show, if the UFL has any chance of making it, right now is their best opportunity with Mike Repole and crew at this juncture. They have, like you said, the funding. They have the best opportunity right now. I've never seen this with XFL, the USFL. I've never seen it with spring football, period. I mean, you got Danny Garcia, The Rock, Redboard Capital, Mike Repole, now Fox, and you have their sponsors, and you have ESPN, and they're going to make it. They're going to make it. I think if you lost a team, just hang in there, stay positive, stay connected to the league. Hey, Yusuf is a great example of that. We could have quit on this league. The road was right in front of us. Hey, man, they took our team. We could have quit, but we didn't quit on the league because I'm going to say this one last thing. From the movie Drumline, one band, one sound. One band, one sound. What that basically means is it's more important for the band to sound good than my own drum. Same thing here. It's more important for the UFL to thrive than it is for me to have a team in my city. Yes, I wanted a team, and I lost a team. The Orlando Guardians covered the team. And that's another thing. You guys forget, I was posting stuff like crazy, and you guys I would verify that you saw it, and you would not like it. And it would just repeat itself over and over and over again. So, and I was on the other side of that. I was on the other side of that. You know what I mean? I was the one putting up stuff, knowing for a fact you guys seeing it and ignoring it. Not ignoring it, but just not giving any love, I would say is probably better. And I had to go through that maturation process, but I still didn't quit on the league. I went ahead and covered the Arlington Renegades. That's what I did, which was not in my state too. I live in Tampa. Even the Orlando Guardians is about a 2-hour drive with traffic, to say roughly around 2-hour drive each way. I covered the Orion Guardians. I did not quit on the UFL. I didn't quit on them. I still felt like I'm seeing this thing all the way through. And same thing here. And today and this week is perseverance and why you don't quit. Because out of the blue, I got a gift. The Orlando Guardians were out. The Orlando Storm is brewing and it's coming. And, you know, you could tell that people know that you didn't hang him up. There's another video.
Wait for this day to put this in the rearview mirror. I was told a long time ago not to wish away.
Dress up. Nice to see you again, always. It's my guy. Now that it's going to be smaller venues, this is a great stadium. How is it going to look visually, you think, from a standpoint from ESPN or Fox? Or
I tell you, we couldn't wait for this day to put this in the rearview mirror. I was told a long time ago not to wish away time. I've been wishing away these couple of days just for that reason.
Yes.
So we could show you all this. We can start working on what we're going to do in the facility. This building really pops in a lot of ways just anytime you're here in an event. So as Jared mentioned, what they've done here from an activation standpoint, what it's like when Orlando FC and the Pride play here is amazing. We look forward to packing this place, and I think the environment here is going to be unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited just hearing that. You know, that's props, man. You know, Russ Brandon, CEO and president, obviously recognizes me by that video. You could see. And that's because I didn't quit. I kept in the game, stayed in the pocket. I urge you, don't do it either, because you'll stay connected to the league, see how things go, support the league. You know, if everybody has their own vision and their own, hey, I want my team, I want this, and I'm going to go this direction. If you don't do what I want, united we stand, divided we fall. And if you guys support the league, like you said, bring a friend, this league is going to make it. And this league needs to make it. And one last thing is that you got to remember, you're giving players, coaches, an opportunity, possible players who got overlooked an opportunity. If they don't have this opportunity, guess what? That's more free time. They can be out there doing whatever. You know how that goes. You never want a man to have too much free time on his hand, not doing anything, because that usually, in most cases, not in all, but in most cases, we have seen it doesn't lead to positive things. Give them an opportunity so you don't have to see them in the street doing something they shouldn't be doing, or in your community. That's what happens. People get desperate. They don't get an opportunity. They got to pay this bill. Pressure. Some people handle pressure differently. They do things that I wouldn't do, but I don't agree with it, and I wouldn't do it, but I'll just say somewhat understand it in a way that desperate people sometimes do desperate things. I don't agree with it. I wouldn't do it, but give them an opportunity. Let this league thrive and go from there. And as it gets bigger and bigger, more opportunities will grow. The checks will get bigger for everybody too. You know, it's a lot of upside. So it's one band, one sound. It's more important, like he says, more important than movie Drumline, that the people hear the band rather than they hear me. One band, one sound. And that's what it's about. It's about team. This is a perfect example. Football's about team. This is a team effort. And the nice thing is, it's a situation where we're going to make it. We're going to make it. We're going to make it, people. We're going to make it, folks. Just be patient. Don't quit on the league. Sound like Brahma Babe's got something cooking, so I don't think she's going to quit on the league. It sounds like she's going to do something. She's going to announce it. She hasn't said anything yet, but I could tell she got something cooking. So somebody's going to get the use of her services, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to, yes, I am excited, and I should be excited. You know, I wasn't expecting a team, and team came back, Orlando Storm. So, yes, people are like, hey, well, I lost my team, you're excited. Well, I was on the other side of the fence too, you know, and this was unexpected. It was, like I said, a gift came, rang the doorbell, and blessed me. That's what happened. Props to Mike Repole. Props to Orlando Storm. Props to the Orlando mayor. Props to Anthony Beck. Props to everybody who showed up at that venue, because it was awesome. that was an awesome event. And I'll show you the interview here with Anthony.
Every single year, we're just trying to make great players and put a great product. And I think you should give it.
Coach Anthony. So this is Alan from the Allen Alpha Sports Talk Show, joined with head coach Anthony Beck from the Battlehawks. So first and foremost, talk about the fact that 3 new teams are joining the UFL.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think Mike Repole is going to, a breath of fresh air, right? I mean, I just think everything he's saying, he's on the right track. And I think the one thing, he's just committed. He wants to be a part of it. He wants to build something. He's, lives in Orlando, so why not bring a team to Orlando? But, Columbus and Louisville, they're good spots as well. So I look forward to going there and beating those teams. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So, but it's really fun.
Yes. And speaking of that, the Battlehawks never have to worry about attendance. What can you advise them to do, or maybe suggest that they do to build up their attendance?
Yeah, I said this to St. Louis fans, and I'm like, just give it a try. Like, you're in Orlando, the area, just come out, bring your family, friends, kids. It's really great for all ages. It's a faster game. We're not here for 4 hours, and it's fun. And Mike's going to do a great job of building around the community. You heard this, and there's a lot of talk about that, but he will do that, right? So it's all about just giving it a chance. We fill a bunch of seats in St. Louis, and I always ask our fans after one game, like, number one, they're great, they're awesome, they cheer for us, they love us, they're passionate. And they bring one friend next game. If they bring one fan, we'll have 60,000 in the stands, right? So this venue is awesome. Like, I can't wait to come here and play, and they should be able to fill this. I mean, but it is a fun experience, and I think you should give it a try.
And for yourself personally, how has it been for you being the head coach of the Battlehawks?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, we've been a consistent winner, which is great. We've developed a lot of players, which is important. We're putting players in the NFL, which is it's fun to see. I love to see success of others, and we love our fans. It's fun. This league is great. We get a great platform on ESPN, ABC, Fox. And these guys get to showcase their skill set, and I'm just here to help navigate and get them to where they want to go. And that's my staff. It's everybody. Everybody's trying to be better, go different places, and that's what we're trying to do, and that's what my goal is. So every single year, we're just trying to make great players and put a great product in St. Louis. We've done that, and we're going to continue to do that as long as I'm here.
Yes. And the fans for St. Louis, can they get a championship?
100%. It's funny. I've won 75% of my games. I've been to 2 conference championship games, and we've lost. And it's been hard. I mean, everybody wants to win a championship, and I want to do it too, but we've had a lot of success, and I just look at the whole macro situation. Like, we've been able to supply the city with a winner. And will the championships come? Of course they will. We're going to try. That's my goal. I want to win a championship. I want our players to win a championship. But it is about being a consistent winner, and that's gratifying to me because it's hard to win. I mean, listen, Orlando had a team a couple years ago. They didn't do very well, right? I think winning's a part of it. You want to go and have fun, but you also want to see a winning product, right? So we're going to try our best to win a championship, and we're going to do that again. We're going to get great players, add players. We have great current players, and it's been fun. So I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, it's a championship is the goal.
Yes. And finally, what type of player does Anthony Beck look forward to when you're scouting somebody and say, I want him on my team?
Yeah, well, a lot of the players that are close to getting in the NFL, I want those guys. They're right there. I think the biggest thing is if they had a taste of the NFL or where they were close, is when you come to us, you got to kind of wipe that away and just soak in what we're doing. If you buy into what we're doing, we can help develop, right? So everybody's got a hole in their game and what they're doing that's preventing them to get to the next step. Or it just simply is they didn't get enough reps or enough playing time. Like, that's what we can do and help. And we got a great staff. I got a lot of former NFL players that are on my staff. Like, these guys know what it takes to get there. I know what it takes, right? So we can win, we can have a great team, and we can develop and get you where you want to be. And that's what it's all about. So that's what the UFL is all about. It's about developing. It's about getting guys to their goals, reaching their goals. But it's also like, can you still do that and win? And that's what we've been able to do. It's been a great formula for us in St. Louis.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Good luck in Orlando.
Thank you. Same here. Good luck in St. Louis.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm giving you guys what the guys are saying. They're saying it verbatim, and they're telling you the way it is. He likes players that have some NFL experience, and props to Anthony Beck. He reshared it and he said, I'm not just a head coach of the Battlehawks. I'm an ambassador of the UFL. And I think everybody has to feel that way. You're an ambassador of the UFL. you got to put the UFL ahead of yourself. That's what I did. And guess what? It's like a boomerang. It came back. Unexpected, but extremely elated. Don't give up on the UFL, whether you are currently a fan, been through, thick and through, or you're a new fan, or you lost a team. Bring a friend. Check it out. See what you think. Time goes by fast. You never know. He said, Mike did say, he wouldn't rule it out that he won't return. And I will just say, I talked about San Antonio. I talked about Michigan. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Memphis. May Fred Smith, rest in peace. We kind of knew that Memphis was unfortunately going to be kind of tough for them to stick around just because Fred Smith, for those who don't know, may rest in peace, late, great Fred Smith. He was a founder. He was, he was retired, but he was still chairman of the board of Federal Express. Anytime you see a FedEx truck, now you know the founder of FedEx. His name is Frederick Smith, short Fred Smith. He lived in Memphis. He was subsidizing, basically giving the UFL some money so that they can keep the Memphis team, Memphis Showboats, here in Memphis. He was giving them some money. Now, from what I understand, what has been reported, it's been a couple of seasons. It could be even more than that. But so they wouldn't leave. He was kind of having the resources to, hook them up, so to speak. And those are some nice resources. He was a multi-billionaire. Unfortunately, he passed. And just in business and in life, I kind of knew that once that happened, things more than likely are going to change. And that's unfortunate what happened with Memphis and the Showboats. But if a smaller venue does come up, you never know. I've been to Memphis. Most of these cities here, most of them I've been to, not all of them. I haven't been to Michigan and Columbus. That's a place I need to go to. And yes, so major props to the UFL. I'm going to show you one last time. The 8 teams that are from now, 8 teams, 1 league. And that's what we're doing. DC Defenders, St. Louis Battlehawks, Dallas Renegades now, Orlando Storm, Columbus Aviators. That is Louisville. I got to make sure I pronounce it right. Kings, the Birmingham Stallions, and we have the Houston Gamblers. So I got to get used to memorizing those teams too. So that's awesome. Fantastic. I got to give some props before we switch gears to the NFL. Definitely props to Jake. My man is awesome. Let me just move this here. Jake Sports Talk Show. Jake Silver. Really awesome for him to have me as a special guest on his show. This was last night. Definitely, that was awesome for him to invite me onto the show. I'm really thankful and grateful for that opportunity, and it's because of you guys. You're the fans. You get my name out there, and then I get these opportunities. Really appreciate you guys. This is awesome. Jake Silva, Snake Sports Talk Show. Make sure you guys follow that. Really awesome show. You can follow him on Facebook and YouTube. He would really appreciate it. And I'm going to put up a post up in the next couple of days. I have to apologize, but I have to give my props to the Rude Dog Show for having me also a special guest. Things got swamped on my side. I apologize, but I wasn't able to put that post up. I will put that post up. Props to Rudy, Ramon Reyes. Really appreciate you having me as a guest on your show as well. And I am going to put that post up. I did not forget. I am going to put that up for you. And I'm going to put up something really cool. So keep an eye out for that. Really appreciate that. So, yes. Then let me just show you that was last night. That's what it looks like. Really appreciate you. Yeah, it is awesome. It is. Yusuf is right, man. It is awesome. It's like having your favorite toy lost. Imagine you just, how dejected you would feel, how upset you would feel. Is gone. And I even said it on my show here on the Allen Alford Sports Show before it came official. I was like, it's because of you guys that I discovered that. Meaning, I was just talking out loud here, and then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? There's no way the Orlando Guard is going to survive this merger. Because the only thing that really I felt was in our back pocket that helped us was the fact that Danny Garcia had a home here in Orlando. But then I started talking out loud, and I was like, wait a minute. I've been liking some of her posts on her Instagram stories about a new home she's building in Virginia. So I started putting it together at that moment. I started putting a piece of the puzzle, and it just a voila moment. It was like, wait a minute. She's getting like a mansion built in Virginia. She's posting up the stages of it. Guess what? She gonna make the DC Defenders like the team that she goes to most of the time. DMV, District of Columbia, Virginia, Maryland. DMV is what they call it in New York. The Department of Motor Vehicles. I'm like, wait a minute. She's gonna make DC Defenders like her hometown, or not a hometown, but like the team that she comes to visit when she's in town. So we don't even have that as an advantage anymore that she had a home in Orlando. I said, at that very moment, it hit me like, I hate to say it, guys, but the Orlando Guardians are not going to survive this merger. That's my prediction. And then lo and behold, it came to fruition. It became official like the next day or within 48 hours. Because look, the Orlando Guardians, they would say 7,000 people. I was like, I guess you're counting each person 5 or 10 times, because you can count this section here got about 50, that section about 20, about 30 in that section. I didn't bring my clicker that counts. I have one of them at home. I didn't bring it with me out there, but I said, you keep tempting me, I'm gonna bring it out there. I was like, there's no way there's 7,000 people here. And as much I promoted the Orlando Guardians, I was like, we're dead man walking. And lo and behold, it became official. And I knew it. They can't. We were X'd. And how I found out was during that, not even a press conference, was Danny Garcia, The Rock were on ESPN doing that big introductory thing. She announced all the teams, and you knew the Orlando Guards. I did not see or hear the Orlando Guards. I'm still waiting for her to mention that name on that show. We were dust. But 2 years later, a storm is brewing. The Orlando Storm. And I love the colors too. So you can't give up in life. Things might be crappy at one point in life, and then you get blessed in another. So you can't give up. That's what I would advise. So we'll switch gears here a little bit and get into, the NFL football. Definitely props to the UFL. And let me go into that a bit. That's awesome, man. So, yes, I should be happy, and users should be happy, and all the fans of Orlando should be happy. And it's not that I'm like happy because somebody else lost their team. I'm never that way. I never would be that way. Definitely prayers to Barama Babe. Viva Mexico. I'm sorry I didn't pronounce it right during that time. Viva Mexico. Official. Appreciate you guys. And Savion Patton, I'm pretty sure the league will have some opportunity out there for them. And in the NFL, we debate whether Baker Mayfield could be the league MVP. Absolutely. He has a very good shot. I don't want to say it's done deal. He's still got a long way to go, but the way he's trending, the way he's playing, he's balling out. To me, he's doing his thing, and he's got a great opportunity because Lamar, he's not doing his thing like he normally is. You got to look at it. This is your best shot. You're a competitor, but you also got to look at what your competition is doing. So there really isn't across the league too many quarterbacks that are getting game-winning drives and winning games. You just got to keep doing what he's doing, keep level head. He's definitely his maturity is there, his decision making is there. He's given his all on the field. Absolutely. I've called all 4 games, all 5 games, I should say, but 4 of them have been game-winning drives. But is there still room for improvement? There's always room for improvement. And no matter what you do, no matter how great and how successful you are, there's always room for improvement. Where they can improve the Bucs, definitely they need to do better on their pass defense. That's one of the things that always seems to hinder them. When I say pass defense, you got to continue to get more pass breakups and interceptions. You need those splash plays. I know Lavonte David came up big, but you need more of those throughout the game. Another thing they need to do is get a little bit more pressure on the opposing quarterback. You know, they stop in the run, but even then, so defensively, they need to show up some things on defense. Come to think of it, it was like a matter of who was going to stop who at the very last, or who was going to make a mistake, because they were both doing track meets. So it worked out for the Bucs, but I definitely do think they sometimes winning will mask a lot of things. They need to work on their defense, running, passing, and also quarterback pressure. One thing I would say they really improved on is they're not blitzing all the time. I think that's a grift. They're not blitzing all the time, where it's so predictable of what you're doing. I said it before on the show, and I'll say it again. Blitzing is very, very effective if you do it sporadically and when your opponent least expects it. If you're doing it and it's predictable, even if you are getting quarterback pressure, they can learn how to beat the blitz, and you're going to get burnt all the time. All the time. I learned that in Madden. Believe it or not, Madden will teach you actual football if you pay attention to the results. If you blitz all the time, eventually the quarterback will get used to the pressure. They'll know how to avoid it enough to get to their receiver. Once he gets to the receiver, it's usually taking it to the house or a big, big game. One of those two, because you just don't have those guys in the back to stop it. So, and I've learned, call a blitz when they least expect it, or it's a shock to them. It's far more effective. So props to the Bucs on working on that. They used to blitz all the time, and I'm like, okay, the opponent knows you're blitzing. It's not effective, and you keep doing it. The Eagles lost on Thursday Night Football. Okay, I did predict that they were going to lose the game to the Giants. I was not surprised at all. I predicted, because the reason why I predicted is because the Eagles were trending of just running the ball. They haven't been really getting A.J. Brown involved. They haven't really passed much. Even Devontae Smith, who, if you guys forget, won a Heisman, they are giving him some short passes and things like that. But you could tell that the passing game really is not there yet. It's like they want to beat everybody with running, which is good. But I felt like last season they were more balanced with the pass and the run. Now it's more run happy, and they have been winning games just on the run. But I feel like if you really want to win games and keep your opponent at bay, you have to stretch the field from time to time. You have to be willing to throw it down there and be successful. So, yes, they definitely need to stretch the field a little bit. Props to Jackson Dart. He balled out. I spoke about this on, right there at the Snake Sports Talk show that we did the interview like right when Thursday Night Football started, that Jackson Dart has a great opportunity to have a coming out party. I believe he will. And sure enough, he did. He sure did. And it was really because of the opportunity he got and the fact that the Eagles had short rest too. And not to give excuses, but I knew that I was not surprised the Eagles lost the game. In fact, I predicted that if Jackson Dart does his thing, they should win this game. And they did. So props to Jackson Dart doing his thing. So we're going to discuss the Yankees. The Yankees. The Yankees, unfortunately, Big Papi was kind of critical about them losing. The Yankees lose. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm a Yankees fan, but I cannot disagree with anything what Big Papi said. I mean, The Yankees were getting annihilated in this series. Annihilated. They were losing by like 10 runs. Game 1, blowout. Game 2, blowout. Game 3, they were losing and about to get swept. Aaron Judge comes out big time, hits that home run. They go ahead and win the game. But you could tell, even though they won that game, to me, it was just delaying the inevitable. The Toronto Blue Jays were far better in this series than the Yankees were. I knew it that, yes, the Yankees did win this game. Could they turn it around? Sure, but it was highly unlikely the way that they were losing games, and they were about to lose that game 3, but it took a heroic act from Judge to save them, which he did. But no, the Yankees were overmatched. They were just completely overmatched. They were just overmatched. And let me just show you something. I mean, it's unfortunate. It really is. It really is unfortunate how the Yankees seem to get to the postseason and they just can't get over the hump. A team that used to live in the World Series, it's tough for them to make it. And I'll tell you why it's tough for them to make it. It's tough for them to make it because they don't have a nucleus of guys that are willing to manufacture runs. One of the things that the Yankees, I think, fall victim of is that short porch and the home run. They're too home run happy. In order for you to win games, David Justice, I give him props on this because he said it perfectly. It's a triangle. You need to have hitting, pitching, and timely hitting. Pitching, defense. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Pitching, defense, and timely hitting. Pitching, defense, timely hitting. You also need to manufacture runs. The Yankees are just too home run happy. Everybody's swinging for the fences. They want to have a 200 batting average, but have 30 home runs. That usually doesn't lead to success, especially when it comes to the postseason. You're not going to be able to get those home runs. And then what do you have left? You got guys that are on the Yankees that are not very athletic. They can hit home runs, and that's really all they can do. They have some guys on the Yankees that have somewhat defense. I mean, I have to call it the way it is. Volpe was pretty much an automatic out in this series, in the ALDS. He was pretty much an automatic out. So this is what you get. If you cannot manufacture runs, definitely when you get to the postseason, the home runs slow down. You have to be able to score more than just hitting the ball in a ballpark. And that's what the Yankees won't get to their head. They want to just jack everything out the ballpark, a la Babe Ruth. And they fall into that trap. Remember, the teams that won could manufacture runs. They didn't just need to hit the ball at a ballpark. They can beat you on the bases. As a matter of fact, the team they lost to, where they, to me, had the biggest loss and the biggest collapse in sports history, was the Yankees versus the Red Sox. The Red Sox were a team that could manufacture runs. They came all the way back down 0-3 and won 4 straight. You have to be able to manufacture runs in the postseason because you can't rely on home runs in the postseason. Yes, it's great to get them, but they're few and far between. They're at a premium. And the Yankees have shown that they just don't hit the ball at a ballpark in the postseason often enough. And that's usually not going to be a recipe for success anyway. You have to be able to manufacture runs. That's where the Yankees are missing it. I think they'll play guys up in the lineup just so they won't hurt their feelings who are not really producing. They do that too. Sometimes in the postseason, guys got to put their ego aside and do what's best for the team. If you're not playing well, you may have to bat lower down in the lineup or have to ride the bench. This is the postseason. It's about one band, one sound. The team winning is more important than your individual stats and you playing. The Yankees, they'll just keep putting guys out there who are not producing just so they don't hurt their feelings or what have you. I think Chisholm has a very good defensive game. I do, but his his batting average and offense is not that great. Again, he's trying to hit home runs all day long. He should be trying to hit solid base hits, solid line drives. He's trying to jack everything. Then he's complaining if he's not getting a strike. He's starting to become like a Kenny Lofton, where every single pitch that's right over the middle plate's a ball, and they complaining. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And unless the Yankees change what they're doing, they're going to have this same situation over and over and over again. Chaz needs to stop complaining and start hitting the ball line drives. That's what he needs to do. And what you need to do is go to cheapviewersonsteamboo.com. Cheapviewersonsteamboo.com, remove the space. And the nice thing is, cheapviewersonsteamboo.com, remove the space. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and wrap up this show of the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. I want to go ahead and give major props to Sam Scola Songs. He's the one who presented all the music for our venue tonight. Unfortunately, his picture is not coming up here, but the nice thing is with Sam Scola Songs, thank you to Sam Scola Songs and his wife Mary. Sam Scola Songs is available on YouTube and Spotify. And there he is. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. That email is to reach Sam Scola, our songwriter, for deals, not for spam. Deals, no spam, please. Thank you, Sam Scola Songs. I apologize. The photo is giving me a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to, you guys know Sam Scola. That's the man. I want to thank you guys for watching another great episode of the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Always a pleasure. I will be back live during the Bucs game, the telecast. Yes, I will be going live. Yes, you will get alert. That's what we do here on the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. I tremendously appreciate all of you for these great opportunities. Thank you for all of the chat messages, the likes. Really appreciate you guys. You guys are fantastic. So on behalf of the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show, be blessed, be well, have a wonderful weekend. Till we meet again, I will see you guys again. Take care of yourself and definitely be better today. Be better tomorrow than you were today. Take care of yourself. Good night. Orlando Storm, we coming.
It's the end of the show.